the other side, of course, of too much digital dependency, Nandan, and you've heard this argument, of course, in all the time you've been associated with Aadhaar, is that while, of course, the idea is that it cleans up databases, it checks leakages, but that can also be exclusionary, that some of the people, who are excluded or who are rendered ineligible may actually be eligible. And there are several studies which have come out which point to this.
Also, I think that's a lot of exaggeration there, because today 1.3 billion people, 1.2 billion, 1.3 billion people have an Aadhaar. Never in the history has there been such a ubiquitous, inclusive program where 1.3 billion people have been reached. It's been made very easy to get the Aadhaar number. It's been made very easy to change your details. So actually a lot of effort has gone in. It's the simplest ID to get in India today. So actually a lot of focus was on inclusion, and that's reflected in the fact that in the state of Aadhaar report, 92% of the people said that Aadhaar was beneficial to them.
Okay. I think you're right, Nandan, to the extent that Aadhaar itself as an identity has reached billions of people. I think the question that some raise is that when you link Aadhaar to the availing of benefits, whether that excludes people. There was a study in 2020 by JPAL, which is of course the group set up by Nobel laureate Abhijit Banerjee in Jharkhand PDS, which found that of those who were excluded, it is a sample survey, they found only 12% were legitimate exclusions, 88% were actually genuine beneficiaries who got excluded.
Well, I don't know about this report, but I think that it's a lot depends on how you design it also. It's not the technology itself, how you design it. And it can be designed to be very, very inclusionary. It allows you, for example, portability. In Andhra Pradesh, you can, if you're in the village and your spouse is in the city, you can both withdraw the PDS. So a lot of other benefits, I think, if it is done well.
Okay. Now, of course, there's a move to link Aadhaar with the voter ID, which has led, some opposition parties and some internet freedom groups to raise concerns. This could, again, they worry, might lead to exclusions of voters. What would your take be on this?
I think we need to understand what is the use of Aadhaar in the election system. It is not for the voting side of it. It's not for, the polling booths. It's not for deciding whether you vote and all that. There are really two purposes, both of which are actually very, very useful. The first is to make sure that you have a single voter ID, because today India is a migratory country and people migrate around the country and end up with multiple voter IDs. So this will allow you to make sure that everybody has a single voter ID. But more importantly, it will be very, very inclusive, because migrants will now be able to vote much better. Today, what happens is somebody from Bihar comes to Delhi, he is not able to get his name put on the Delhi electoral roll. So he becomes a non-citizen of Delhi, and therefore his vote does not count. And therefore, if you want to give migrants a vote, we have to make it easy for them to register in the new city where they are. And that's where this will help very well. So it's actually very, very inclusionary and will change the whole urban politics, because migrants will be able to vote on an equal footing.